Welcome back to Rally New Zealand. It's day 2. We have come north of Auckland today. Guess what? It's still raining, but big news overnight. I'm sure you may have already read on dirtfish.com. We have 5-second penalties for our rally leader, Oik Tanak, and Thierry Neuville, and possibly Kalle Rovanperä. It's an overboosting issue with the hybrid. We're not entirely sure of the technicalities. We will get to the bottom of it, but ultimately, it doesn't really matter. What the big news is that Tanak is now not leading going into day 2. First stage today is Kaipara Hills. Beautifully cambered, fabulous, genuine bit of New Zealand road. Colin's about to get run over by Thierry Neuville. Let's go and very quickly catch up with Craig Breen. A very, very quick word. Craig, fabulous to see you back today, just before you jump in there. What's today all about for Craig Breen?
Try not to do what I did yesterday, and try and get back with the confidence again.
Yeah. These are great roads, though. You can enjoy these roads today, Craig.
What's that?
You can enjoy these roads. I mean, they are great roads, aren't they, still?
Yeah, no, they definitely are. So, yeah, that's the plan. Just try and enjoy it as much as we can.
Difficult day yesterday for Craig Breen. We tried to talk to him. Obviously, when he had his problem, he's an emotional guy, very emotional guy. But Lorenzo Bertelli, tell us, how much are you looking forward to today's stages?
I mean, other 3 nice stages, like all the rally. So I just want to enjoy it and keep doing what we were doing yesterday, and that's it.
The rain, does the rain bother you?
I don't think the rain is going to be a big problem. This kind of rain is not a problem. Also, I mean, our road position is not too bad. At least I have Craig in front of me. But I mean, there can be much worse situations, so it's fine. It should be fine.
Grazie. Let's see, because we did have a bit of a theory, didn't we, Cole, that these roads can generate quite a lot of mud. We can see it can be quite difficult for the first 2, 3, 4 cars on the road. Where should we go next? Mr. Director, tell me, where should we go? Let's go into, oh my goodness me. Morning, Taka-san. What's that all about? What were you doing then?
Oh, sorry.
What were you doing with your eyes?
Eye drop.
Right, just to keep them. Right. And just before you go into the first stage, tell us, what's the thinking with the hairdo?
Yeah, try to enjoy on the nice stages. Hello.
but the hair colour's changed.
A bit, yes. But this looks, has been not so working well, so I will change.
Good man, have a good day. Oliver. These are locally sourced Macs, are they?
We don't have team clothing, so we need to buy local rain clothing.
We've seen these in a very similar.
Backpack was the first ever backpack I bought. And New Zealand manufactures the best backpacks you can buy.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on today?
For me, the stages today are maybe a bit nicer. Maybe not as cool, but they are a bit nicer, and the conditions should be good. So it's enjoyable.
It's a bit more what we expect from Rally New Zealand, isn't it? This real camber and through these kind of fields.
Yeah, a little bit more camber on a few places, and a bit more twisty technical, like maybe a classic New Zealand.
And the issues that you had yesterday, we're confident we've got rid of all of those for today?
Yeah, no, it should be fine today. We did a bit of few changes in midday service, and just a bit of computer work, and it works a little bit better.
Computers can sort everything out, can't they?
No, not all the time.
Have a great day. Now, Kalle Rovanperä has just arrived. You're looking very confident. Is that a confident look you got there, Kalle Rovanperä?
I don't know. Hopefully, yes.
Just talking to Oliver there, he was saying that today's stages are a little bit more genuine. Oh! Happy birthday. That's really bad research, and we needed Oliver to tell us it was your birthday. Well, tell us about that then. Happy birthday. What's it like to wake up on your birthday on a rally?
Quite normal, too early.
And last year was a big one for you. 21 last year, 22. You're getting old now.
Yeah, I think too old for this.
But the roads today, they're more cambered. Are they more enjoyable than yesterday?
I don't know. let's see. A bit more technical today than yesterday.
From what we saw on the recce, what would you expect that heavy overnight rain, what will that do to the road this morning?
I think we'll be quite clear overall. Some places for sure will be maybe a bit more muddy than yesterday. Let's see.
We heard a little bit of story about some a penalty for overboosting on your car. We've seen it with Tanak and seen it with Nivelle. Is there an issue for your car as well?
I don't know.
All right, thank you. So all slightly unclear about what's going on with Kelly and his potential penalty, but what is not unclear is his birthday today. That's pretty rubbish that we didn't know that. Sorry, Kelly Rovanperä. And thank you, Oliver, for keeping us right. Let's Gus Greensmith. Another fastest stage time today?
Yeah, I think everyone said that to me this morning. Yeah, I can't give my dad that much stress again, I don't think. I'll try. Road sweeping shouldn't be really much of a thing today with the amount of rain, so that's good. So yeah, just got to fight with Thierry and do our best to stay ahead.
What about the roads? We know a lot about Whangar Coast and Tiakau and those stages yesterday. What about these? I mean, I can't really remember much about Kaipara Hills. Is it good?
Yeah, no, beautiful stages today. I'd say a little bit trickier maybe, a bit more deceptive. And the last stage, the really short one, we were told last night it probably wouldn't run because of flooding. So they're running it today, but we don't really know what condition the stage is in. So it could be quite bad, or it could have run away. So we'll see.
The car all right? You were talking, there was some issue with the boot you were talking to the boys about?
Just a bit of rain coming. I think it's been leaking in overnight, so cleared it out now.
Certainly rained overnight. Have a good day. And it certainly has rained overnight. It kept you awake, didn't it, Cole? Kept you awake, the rain.
Really heavy rain overnight, and that seems to be the way of things, David. It's coming down in heavy showers, and then right now it's just very, very light mizzle, isn't it?
Mizzle. Mizzle is a very good word. But let's go and see Thierry, Cole, first. Good morning, Thierry Nivelle. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
I was thinking, we never see a miserable Thierry Nivelle. You are just always upbeat, always happy. But actually, this time he did look a little bit miserable.
You weren't in Greece. Wasn't happy with me. Wasn't happy with me.
I'm very rarely happy with him, Thierry. I can sympathise with you. What do we know about this overboosting penalty that you've got?
Not much, obviously a mistake from the team. So yeah, we got the penalty. We're not the only one.
What does it mean? How does the car do it, and what does it actually manifest itself as?
It's not a huge difference. I mean, you have a certain amount of kilojoule you can release by each acceleration where you have a valid boost, and we had only one in the stage, and I mean we used 3 kilojoule more, which is literally 0.02 seconds of a time, but it's part of the game and the rules are the rules.
Okay, yesterday it didn't go to plan, obviously. A couple of spins, a difficult day. How do you motivate yourself again and get yourself back into the fight today?
I mean, the biggest motivation is probably the weather conditions we have, which can make turnaround situations quite quickly. Still, we would need some luck, but I mean, we are 6th overall. The target is to fight back to 5th, and then we have to see what happens.
Does it make a difference though that we are in this beautiful place on these amazing roads? Can you still enjoy the roads if you're not fighting for the win?
Actually, I enjoyed the driving, except the first stage yesterday morning. I struggled a bit on the first part. Second half was quite okay, but after some setup changes throughout the day, it was getting better and better. But yeah, let's see what we're going to do today. The target is to keep the rhythm from yesterday and see what's happening.
Man, thank you very much, Thierry. And the rain really is forecast to keep, as Cole was saying, to keep coming down all day. But that's the first we've heard about the second run of the short stage being cancelled.
What was interesting though, David, and we spoke to Ogier last night, some of the drivers, obviously when rain comes down as heavy as we see it here, you know, there's advantages and disadvantages, and Ogier knew that he was disadvantaged. I think it was in the middle stage in the afternoon loop, wasn't he? So there's a little bit of luck involved, whether you get that heavy rain or whether you just manage to come through the stage with this light drizzle. Do you want this microphone back? Oh, here we go. Have a look at this. You know, we talk about the routines that drivers go through. Thierry Neuville is one who has a very particular regime that he has to go through, particularly before the start of the first stage in the morning. And you see him doing the thing with the finger in front of the eyes. He's just focusing. Well, he's just focusing. He's watching that finger with his eyes to try and, you know, make sure the focus is... No, David! To make sure the focus is right on the finger. And obviously the exercises are to limber up the limbs.
Kelly was just touching his toes. Do that now.
I tell you, look, I'm an athlete. Oh, not quite there. Not quite there. I'm not quite there, Davey. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Oh, jeez. Oh, gee whiz. Oh, gee whiz. It's a young man's game, this, isn't it, Yoni?
Are you in the right profession? You should be in a circus or something. I see you're quite flexible.
Well, yeah, I like this guy. I like him. He's very kind, isn't he? Listen, what did you buy your driver for a birthday present?
He will see later on.
Ooh, you got him something nice. You can share it with us. No one will know.
No.
Ooh. Are you going to treat him to a nice little dinner somewhere, or have you got him a nice little bit of something from home in Finland, maybe?
You will see.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing it. 22 years old today. At Lenscloth. Oh, sorry. There we go. So, I seem to have resumed responsibility for the microphone. Elvin Evans. Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh, he wants it back.
No, what do you...
No, he wants it back.
Now we've done the touching the toes segment. I'm very happy to hand over. No, I'll do what... Elvin's running on the spot. I can do that.
Go on then. Run on the spot.
Might have just twisted my ankle trying to do what you were doing. So, what do we think? Today, big drama overnight. 5-second penalties everywhere. Does that change? And I mean, of course it changes things, but the sort of psychological process
doesn't change anything. No.
But also, Colin and I were saying last night, you know, the gaps here are so small, aren't they? What becomes a kind of manageable gap on this rally?
I don't know. It's not even worth thinking about at the moment, you know. I think there's still a long and tricky day ahead, so we're just focusing on that for now.
What are you, genuinely, what are you thinking about right now? Is it the first kilometre of the first stage?
Just this next stage, and that's it pretty much, yeah.
And a lot of rain coming in today?
Yeah, it looks like we're in for some rain most of the day.
What's that going to do to if you could choose the perfect place on the road, where would it be?
I don't know. It's very hard to say here, to be honest. We have no experience, so it's hard to say. If you were at home, obviously you'd want to be first, but I don't know.
Yeah, this is the trouble. In Wales, it would polish a bit, wouldn't it? And
yeah, generally for the first pass, you know, it churns to a thicker mud, and then the polishing comes for the second pass. But yeah, it tends to be when it rains more, the polishing is not such an issue.
Yeah. Have a good one, Elvin Evans. Thank you very much. Got to be very careful not to fall down the bank here, Cole. We did, yeah, that poor girl nearly fell right down a very big bank. We did. We certainly did. No, it's just a bit of cotton or something, isn't it? Or some, I've no idea. It's some bit of the mud flap. It's certainly nothing to concern Oitanak, is it? Absolutely not. I like these boots that you twist, tighten up. Well, it's basically, it just gets rid of laces, doesn't it? Sorry, Cole. Yeah, you get rid of the laces, tighten them up. It's a sort of easy fix. We're running short of things to talk about, Oitanak.
I wonder, we'll ask you, I mean, how often you take a new... No, but how often you take a new pair of racing boots? I mean,
they look new.
They look brand new,
how often do you have new racing boots, Oit?
Seems like today.
They look very nice. Are they comfortable? They look comfortable.
I hope they will be soon.
Yeah. Some issues overnight with penalties that we've seen, a 5-second penalty. What can you tell us about that?
It's a penalty. Nothing I can do different. So yeah, not up to me.
We obviously we know nothing about the technical side of these things, but it seems it's a very, very tiny amount of extra boost that you've got. Could you even feel that extra bit of boost?
Obviously, it's this 1 or 2 kilojoule doesn't make any difference in performance, but obviously there is a regulation and there was a mistake by our engineers.
What, and presumably is a kind of an overboost valve or something to stop it? How does it happen?
It's actually just a mapping how much you allow the car to use.
Right. Okay. Not great news overnight, obviously, but I guess it doesn't change that. Yes, it changes classification, but you're going to go hard today anyway, aren't you?
No, we need to. It's not as long, but still some quite tricky stages. So it's not going to be easy at the moment. The weather is not so bad, but it seems to be quite changeable over the days. So let's see how the rain will affect.
And did they yesterday? You talked about the fact that you hadn't got the feeling to absolutely fight with the car. Have they made any changes overnight to help things?
Yeah, definitely. We have tried. Yesterday especially we were quite struggling with the rear tire wear actually, so was not wearing like we wanted. So we tried to adjust all these kind of things. We were struggling yesterday.
We've got limited knowledge of these roads, but from the recce, if we do get a lot of rain coming in today, what would be the best place on the road? Is it going to clean? Is it going to get better for you, or will it get muddier?
Just not to be on the road when the weather hits, so that's the best place to be.
And it just must be a nightmare when you can see it coming. You've watched the other cars go off the line and then go, and you've got to put the wipers on. It's not great, is it?
Well, yeah, but again, this is something which we can't really affect much.
And just back to the boots very briefly. Would you ever go back to laces?
If they're lighter, then yes.
Of course. Sorry, Cole. I'm nearly down the ditch. Good luck, mate.
Microphone. This is interesting. The blanks in front. Now, Martin's just fitted those blanks. I don't understand quite. Maybe you can help with this one, David. Normally we see blanks to retain engine heat, don't we? And they would put them on between stages, wouldn't they, to retain the engine heat. This is something we've seen reasonably recently. The Hyundais have these temporary, so you've basically taken up 2/3. You've still got 1/3 of the air intake, but you've taken out 1/3 of it. That's maybe a question we can ask for the engineers later on. As to Martin's just fitted them. Yeah, should we ask him? Martin, we're just having a look at the blanks and the way that they're fitted. What's the thinking behind that? Because you haven't completely blanked off clearly, but you've blanked off some of it. Why did you do that?
This guy was right there. Ask from the engineers.
But is it only for certain stages, or is that for every stage? If it's a certain length of stage, would you not put both blanks on?
Ask from engineers.
Yeah, we'll ask the engineers. There we go. Back to David.
It would be. I don't know. It's interesting. Will they leave?
I have another point to make. The boost. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Let's just watch your fingers on the lens. The boost. So, if you remember in the R5 cars, they would have a pop-off valve. So, your boost is something that if you're being a little bit naughty, you can play with as an engineer. Now, with the R5 cars in the past, the FI couldn't monitor every single car. They couldn't download the data from every single car. So they had a valve. And every time the boost went above a certain level, that valve would pop off. So it didn't allow you to overboost. And that was, if you like, a method of controlling the boost. With these cars, it's a readout. They get a technical readout of the boost. You're allowed so much boost per stage. And that's basically prescribed before the rally starts. And what's happened here is that there was an amendment to the amount of boost allowed in that opening stage. As Oitanek told us, that amendment, most of the other teams obviously implemented that. Watch your back, David. But the Hyundai engineers, they missed it. So they didn't amend the boost down, and they were punished for it. As I said, it's a regulation. That's just how it goes. Now, Sebastian Ogier, what a position he's in. right there in the fight for the win today. We'll grab a very quick word with Seb. A very good morning to you, champ. Looking magnificent this morning. How are you feeling?
Good. Happy to be here. Fantastic weather.
I'm saying you look magnificent because you don't always have a shave in the morning. You've had a shave this morning.
Yeah. Every little gram away.
What about the stages? What are you hearing about the overnight weather and the conditions in the stages?
Well, it's been raining intensively the whole night. Now, today, I think it's going to continue like this. Right now, as we are talking, it's a bit calmer, but I think there will be some more heavier local showers. So hopefully we don't meet them in the stage because it's always tricky when it's happening, like yesterday, for example. But otherwise, yeah, it's remember me Wales Rally GB.
You were a bit unlucky with the weather yesterday. Hopefully the luck goes your way. Quick word with Benji. He was feeling a little bit ill yesterday. Benji, how are you feeling this morning?
Yes, my feeling is good because it's raining, but we'll see.
In the fight for the win, I'm keeping my distance. I think it's not the dreaded, but he might have a little cold. David, would you like to wrap this up? There you go. You started it, you finish it.
It is just like working with the BBC, isn't it, Colin? What a great day we've got coming. The only question mark we have now is over that second running of the short stage. The rest of it, let's just sit back and enjoy. Day 2 of Rally New Zealand. It's going to be fantastic. Much shorter day than yesterday. As I say, we're north of Auckland. This is the last time we'll be north of Auckland. Back south tomorrow. Let's see. It's going to be another fascinating day. If you want to know exactly what's going on, go to one place. Go to dirtfish.com.